Hello guys, it's your Quant, and in this video we are going to discuss if we should buy BABA, so the Alibaba stock or not. So a friend in our private group just told me about BABA, the fact that he was buying, and I was like, okay, I need to have a look at the stock, and like, is it a good buy or not? Just giving my honest opinion. So you see that you perhaps some of you knows that on stock I'm very biased. Like I do very specific thing and I try to stick to that. And so basically I think his first point was that BABA was looking great, technically speaking. So we had like this big mania, of course, pre-COVID. I think pre-COVID we had like kind of like a strong China boom, where China was very very strong. But since I would say since the COVID, I would say we had like this big downturn in terms of economic figures regarding China. So I think the stock is down more than the stock is down 73%. So it's even like harder than crypto sometimes, and you can see that it's been in drawdown, or it's been down since like more than 3 years now. So that's pretty insane, no? If you had bought the stock, then you are down during 3 years. That the pain is just crazy, During 3 years, you just keep losing money. That's why timing is key, and it's so important to try to time the market and buy when nobody wants to buy, right? So first thing first, yeah, I do reckon the chart looks great. Then it's not the most important thing, and that's the thing I think also like you should keep in mind is like it's not because the chart is looking great that it's a buy or it's a sell. You see what I mean? So just what you could know is like it's almost like lower than its IPO. I don't know if it's, but I think Alibaba IPO'd like during this time, so it looks ok. But yeah, the chart honestly looks great. We had like this big downturn. Alibaba is, I would say, one of the biggest stock in China. But Chinese markets are hard. It's always hard to know if they are lying or not, if there is like dead bodies inside the company that would, I would say, just come back. But yeah, it's a good buy. So I just like add some orders from my friend at 82. We added some orders and got filled like last week at $82 just to follow the trade. And I was like, sure, a bit of this conviction. So the first thing I told my friend is like, I can find a bunch of stocks that looks like, it's bottoming, but it's just at this stock. I'm not really convinced by what this stock is doing and the fundamental. But if you just look at it, if you, let's say, were to start buying here, you would be, more than 2 years down. So I think that's the most important thing to keep in mind. Not because the stock is down that is a good buy. And I think the most important thing is to focus on like strong fundamentals and the things who are making it. That's the thing in crypto. That's why I'm focused Solana and not Ethereum, because Ethereum is underperforming and most likely will continue underperforming. And there is few things that could change that. Then the thing is like when you are long Alibaba, you're long like kind of like the Chinese factor. And if we look at China 50, it's not looking great. And it's in downtrend since like 3 years now. So yeah, not the best buy. So that would be I would say the third thing I would definitely check. So yeah, that's an important one. I think also like the important thing to keep in mind is like for stocks we are kind of like in a weird place. If we look at Apple, pretty high, all-time high, all-time high. So I'm like, if like Apple like starts to revert, how will BABA like kind of like do? So that's also the thing to keep in mind. And I think that's one of the hardest thing. That's one of the hardest thing to have in mind is like not because the asset is down, and if the asset is going down, you have to compare it to other assets. And it proves it. The guy who purchased like BABA like 3 years ago are still down a lot, tremendously a lot compared to the guy who bought Apple. So we had like as you perhaps know, in Q4 the rates should revert and we should go down, and will definitely like shake the market. And in this moment, like perhaps like BABA will just like crash and then come back up. But the thing is like it can like impact its financials and everything. So I told my friend, you have a bunch of resources online to check the financials of a company. So we check the chart. We checked like kind of like the factor, I would say, of the stock. Of course, it's a tech stock, but you know, like geography, where is it, and all these kind of things. And then I think it's time to check like kind of like the old Warren Buffett style about financials, you know. So of course, financials takes a bit more time and it's a bit boring, so I will go super fast on this one. But checking I would say the basic thing of like revenue, is it growing or not? Gross profit, is it growing or not? Like, are they just doing more revenue, but the profit margin is like going down? Like the business is less profitable? Could showcase that the edge is like going down a bit, and a bunch of things. And if you look at Alibaba, I think the fundamental is solid, like it's great, but definitely not showing super good signs. And that's kind of like the thing I'm a bit worried of. Is like they have grown the revenue, but in relatively speaking, the for example, the spendings have like grown the same way or even a bit more, you know. So you have to compute all these things. So not going to reveal my magic here, or like my secret kind of like formula, but I have like a thing I'm doing just to rate that and to try to figure it out, like how good is the fundamental first, and how is it evolving? Like, is it evolving in the proper way or not, you know? And I have done it for Apple and Alibaba, and just the gap is just insane. Like, I would definitely buy like Apple like every day rather than to buy Alibaba. But still, Alibaba is not that bad, so I'm like, okay, why not? Okay, let me find back Baba. I don't really like Chinese stocks. I think they are very hard to trade and they are very, very slow. So I would be like, okay, no, not my big stuff. But yeah, that's the thing, you know. And when I was comparing that, I was like, yeah, not the best buy. So I would definitely try to either wait or figure out like better buys in more like US stocks. Like we worked on Tesla these days. So we had like, for example, a buy zone here, another buy zone. But you know, these stocks are looking a bit better. You know, a bit more like it's moving, it's doing something, rather than Alibaba that looks a bit dead. But still, I was looking at some exposure, so I purchased some. More like kind of like a technical trade. I would exit like pretty fast, honestly, based on the breakout and the news they get and the next earning, I would say. So yeah. So that's it. That was just like a small like tool to show you how I do with stocks, and how when I try to handpick stocks, it's, I would say, another game. But like if we just were to choose like Alibaba, that's how I would have thought it, and that's the thing we discussed like in the group. So yeah, that was it, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to drop all the ticker or like website you use to analyze stocks. I appreciate like you guys sharing it, interested by that. So yeah, and that was your quant, and see you soon for another video.